4 seeds that could secretly harm your health after 60. What if I told you that some of the so-called superfoods sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now, those tiny little seeds you've been told are heart-healthy, fiber-packed, and absolutely essential for longevity, might actually be doing the exact opposite for people over 60? For decades, we've heard the same advice on repeat: eat more seeds, sprinkle them on your salads, blend them into your smoothies. They're natural, they're safe, they're good for you. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Behind that shiny label of superfood lies a much darker story. New studies are uncovering that certain seeds, the very ones millions of seniors eat daily without a second thought, may actually accelerate aging, stiffen your blood vessels, and quietly fuel the inflammation linked to joint pain, heart problems, and even memory decline. The scariest part? Almost nobody knows it. Most people keep munching away, thinking they're protecting their health, when in reality, they could be feeding the very problems they're desperate to avoid. But it's not all bad news, because while 4 of the most popular seeds are silently working against you, there are another 4, less talked about, almost overlooked, that can completely transform the way you feel, restoring energy, reducing pain, and even sharpening your memory in ways that pills and supplements rarely can. So in this video, we're going to reveal both sides of the story. The 4 seeds you must avoid if you're over 60, and the 4 seeds you should be eating every single day if you want to fight back against aging and reclaim your health. And trust me, the number 1 on each list is going to shock you. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. What seeds do you eat most often? And have you ever noticed feeling bloated, achy, or unusually tired afterward, but never thought to connect it with those tiny little kernels? If so, you're not alone. By the end of this video, you'll see seeds in a way you never have before. And now, let's hand it over to Dr. Manga, who's here to break everything down for you. But hey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
1. Sunflower seeds, the hidden danger. Welcome, dear elders. I'm Dr. Manga, speaking to you directly from my very own clinic. Sunflower seeds, tiny, crunchy, and everywhere. You find them tossed on salads, hidden inside granola bars, baked into breads, and even promoted as a perfect senior snack because of their vitamin E content. Most people see them as harmless, even comforting, something you can mindlessly chew while watching TV. But for people over 60, sunflower seeds can quietly turn into a metabolic nightmare. Here's why. Sunflower seeds are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6s aren't evil by themselves. Your body needs them. The real problem is balance. Your cells need a delicate ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s to stay calm and inflammation-free. The healthy ratio is about 4:1, but with sunflower seeds, that ratio skyrockets to 18:1 or worse when seniors snack on them daily. What does that imbalance do? It creates the perfect storm for chronic inflammation. And inflammation, as researchers keep proving, is the silent spark behind so many age-related problems. Stiff joints, swollen ankles, fatigue that doesn't go away with sleep, and even the gradual hardening of arteries that sets the stage for heart disease. Let me give you a real story.
Margaret, a 72-year-old retired librarian, came to us frustrated and exhausted. She walked daily, she cooked at home, she avoided junk food. Yet her ankles were swollen, her knees stiff, and her energy levels at rock bottom. When we looked closer at her diet,
the culprit was hiding in plain sight. She was sprinkling sunflower seeds on her salads, adding them into granola, and snacking on them throughout the day, thinking she was making a smart choice. Her blood tests told a different story. Her CRP levels, one of the key markers for inflammation, were 3 times higher than the safe range. 3 times. We removed the sunflower seeds and replaced them with a balanced mix of chia and flax. The results? In just 10 days, her swelling reduced. Within 3 weeks, her energy returned, and her walking time increased from 10 minutes to nearly 40 minutes without fatigue. Her inflammation markers dropped by 42%. This isn't about demonizing food. It's about understanding how something as innocent as sunflower seeds can push your body over the edge when you're over 60. If you're dealing with arthritis, fatigue, or high cholesterol, it might not just be age. It might be your snacks. But here's the good news. There's a safer, smarter option. Pumpkin seeds, which we'll get to later, provide zinc and magnesium without the omega-6 overload. For now, though, it's time to pull back the curtain on the next seed, one that doesn't just cause inflammation. It hides a natural toxin most people have never even heard of. 2. Cottonseed oil, the industry's secret toxin. Now, if sunflower seeds were a quiet saboteur, then cottonseed oil is the hidden assassin of the food industry. Most people don't even realize they're consuming it. You don't see it sprinkled on salads or advertised in shiny jars. Instead, it lurks inside packaged foods, crackers, boxed granola, baked snacks, even so-called healthy salad dressings. And here's the terrifying part. Cottonseed oil is one of the cheapest oils available, which is why food companies use it everywhere. But cheap comes with a cost. Cottonseed oil contains a natural plant toxin called gossypol. It's a substance the cotton plant produces to keep insects away, but in the human body, especially in seniors, it can quietly disrupt some of the most critical systems keeping you alive. Studies show that gossypol can interfere with the heart's electrical rhythm, block calcium absorption in muscle cells, and impair mitochondrial function, the tiny power plants inside your cells that generate energy. Imagine your body like a city. The mitochondria are the power stations, feeding every building with electricity. Now imagine those stations suddenly struggling to produce energy. Lights flicker, machines slow down, and the city begins to weaken. That's what happens inside your cells when gossypol sneaks into your diet. One patient's story always sticks with me. Joan, a 70-year-old woman, thought she was doing everything right. Her doctor told her to cut down on fat, so she switched to low-fat crackers, boxed granola, and low-calorie salad dressings. But within weeks, she developed constant fatigue, strange fluttering in her chest, and painful muscle cramps. Her heart scan came back borderline, but not serious enough for medication. Still, she felt drained. When we looked at her diet, the truth was everywhere. Cottonseed oil was one of the top ingredients in nearly every product she was eating. We immediately cut it out and replaced her snacks with roasted chickpeas, fresh avocado slices, and dressings made with extra virgin olive oil. Within 2 weeks, her muscle spasms vanished. By the 3rd week, her chest flutters were gone. And when she called us, her voice was full of life again. I finally feel like myself. The sad reality is that most food labels don't warn you about this. To the industry, cottonseed oil is just cheap filler. To seniors, it can be the difference between having the energy to enjoy life and living with silent fatigue and heart strain. So the next time you pick up a packaged snack, flip it around. If you see cottonseed oil listed in the ingredients, especially in the top 3, put it back. Your heart, your muscles and your energy levels will thank you. And if you think this was bad, wait until you hear about the next seed. Because while sunflower and cottonseed cause inflammation and toxin overload, the next one doesn't just stress your body. It can quietly rob you of essential minerals, leaving your bones fragile and your immune system weak. 3. Sesame seeds, the mineral thief. Sesame seeds. They look harmless, tiny white specks sprinkled on burger buns, blended into creamy tahini, or drizzled as sesame oil over stir-fry. For many people, they're a symbol of healthy eating. But here's the hidden side most seniors never hear about. Sesame seeds can quietly rob your body of the very minerals it needs to stay strong, while also triggering allergic reactions that often go unnoticed for years. The problem lies in compounds called phytates. These molecules latch onto minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc, the very building blocks of healthy bones, steady nerves, and a strong immune system. In younger people with fast metabolisms, phytates might not cause too much damage. But in seniors, whose digestive systems naturally slow down with age, phytates can block absorption at the exact time your body needs those nutrients the most. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high phytate diets reduced calcium absorption in older adults by up to 27%. Imagine that. Nearly a third of the calcium you're consuming simply slipping through your system, never reaching your bones. Over time, that translates to weaker bones, higher fracture risk, and the creeping onset of osteoporosis. But that's only half the story. Sesame is also a rising food allergen, one that has become serious enough to be listed by the FDA as the 9th major allergen in 2023. And here's what makes it tricky. Sesame allergies in adults don't always show up with dramatic reactions like swelling or choking. In seniors, the symptoms are often subtle, chronic, and easy to blame on aging. We're talking sinus congestion that never clears, itchy skin patches, mysterious fatigue, or nagging digestive discomfort. Take Linda, a 69-year-old retired nurse. She came in with severe joint pain, dry skin, and bloating that no elimination diet seemed to fix. She had already given up dairy, gluten, and even red meat. Nothing worked. When we tested her immune response, the culprit was sesame, hidden in the tahini she ate daily in her hummus. Once we removed sesame and replaced it with avocado and walnuts, her skin cleared in 2 weeks, her digestion calmed, and the joint pain she had carried for 6 years melted away. Her words, "I feel like I've been given back a decade of my life." The lesson here is simple. Sesame seeds aren't evil, but they're not the miracle ingredient people believe, especially for seniors. Overloading on sesame can steal minerals, stress your immune system, and make you feel older than you are. So, should you avoid all sesame forever? Not necessarily, but you must treat it with caution. Balance, variety, and moderation are the keys, because the next seed we'll talk about, it's far more dangerous when handled the wrong way. And it happens to be the one hyped as the king of superfoods. 4. Chia seeds, the superfood that can backfire. Chia seeds. Just hearing the name makes most people think of Instagram smoothies, wellness influencers, and endless claims about the miracle superfood. They're small, trendy, and praised as one of the healthiest foods on the planet. But here's what almost nobody talks about. For seniors, chia seeds can actually be dangerous, sometimes even life-threatening, if they're eaten the wrong way. Here's why. Chia seeds can absorb up to 12 times their weight in liquid. That's right. 1 spoonful of chia becomes a thick gel once it hits water. Now, if your digestive system is quick and strong, that gel can help sweep out waste and keep you regular. But in seniors, where digestion slows down and hydration levels are often lower, chia can swell at the wrong time and in the wrong place. Medical journals are full of alarming cases. One 72-year-old man swallowed a spoonful of dry chia seeds, followed by a glass of water. Within an hour, his esophagus was completely blocked. Doctors had to surgically remove a mass of swollen chia just so he could breathe and swallow again. That's not a rare freak accident. There are dozens of reports of choking, severe constipation, and even dangerous blockages, all from eating chia dry or without enough liquid. And then there's Roberto's story, a 74-year-old retired truck driver. He thought he was giving his body a boost when his daughter bought him a superfood pack. He started adding chia straight into his cereal and smoothies, without soaking them first. Within a week, he was doubled over in pain, bloated, and constipated to the point he couldn't go to the bathroom for 5 days. By the time he came in, his abdomen was swollen and his face pale with exhaustion. We stopped the chia immediately, switched him to soaked flax seeds, and within 3 days, his system calmed down. Does this mean chia is evil? Number: it's rich in omega-3s, antioxidants, and fiber, but it must be respected. If you're over 60, you should never eat chia seeds dry, in powder form, or just tossed on food without soaking. The safe way: always soak them fully for at least 30 minutes before eating, and start with tiny amounts. Because here's the bigger picture. Many seniors trying to eat healthy are unknowingly sabotaging their health by following wellness trends blindly. What works for a 25-year-old influencer with perfect digestion does not always work for a 70-year-old body that needs care, balance, and preparation. And if you think this is shocking, wait until you see what comes next. Because now that we've exposed the 4 seeds that silently harm your health, it's time to flip the script and discover the 4 seeds that can actually reverse the damage and bring your energy, strength, and memory back to life. 5. Black sesame, the brain protector. After all that bad news, let's switch gears, because not all seeds are out to get you. Some of them, if you choose the right kind, can actually fight back against aging and restore what time has taken. One of the most surprising heroes? Black sesame seeds. Now, I know what you're thinking. Didn't you just tell me sesame is bad? And you're right, we did. The regular white sesame you find on burger buns or in tahini paste can cause real problems. But black sesame is a different story. Unlike its pale cousin, black sesame is unhulled and unrefined, which means it holds on to powerful compounds, especially lignans, antioxidants that protect your brain and blood vessels from oxidative stress. Think of it this way. If your brain is like a computer, oxidative stress is the rust that slowly eats away at the circuits. Lignans in black sesame act like an internal anti-rust spray, keeping those circuits sharp and firing smoothly. Science backs this up. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that seniors aged 65 to 78 who ate just 2 teaspoons of black sesame daily for 2 months saw a 13% drop in blood pressure and scored 22% higher on memory recall tests. That's not marketing hype. That's measurable brain and heart protection. And then there's Siam's story. She was a 70-year-old retired math teacher who started forgetting her students' names and felt drained all the time. Her neurologist warned her about the risk of mild cognitive decline. Instead of rushing to medication, we suggested something simple. Every morning, mix a teaspoon of ground black sesame with a little honey and warm water. Within weeks, her energy improved. After a month, she could recall names and memories she thought she had lost forever. Even her blood pressure dropped to a healthier range. Here's the catch, though. It has to be black sesame, not the roasted white kind most people use. And it should be ground or soaked, never raw and unprepared. Used correctly, it's not just food, it's medicine. For seniors, adding black sesame to your diet in small, consistent amounts can mean clearer thinking, calmer blood pressure, and a shield against the creeping effects of aging. It's proof that the right seed, prepared the right way, can change everything. But that's only the beginning, because the next seed doesn't just sharpen your brain, it works deep inside your arteries and digestion, reducing inflammation and balancing hormones in ways few foods can. 6. Flax seeds, the heart healer. Flax seeds aren't flashy. They don't get the same hype as chia or the trendy seeds you see all over social media. In fact, most people walk right past them in the store, never realizing they might be one of the most powerful foods for seniors who want to protect their heart, balance their hormones, and even restore smooth digestion. Here's what makes flax so special. It's the richest dietary source of lignans, a type of plant compound that behaves like a gentle, natural hormone regulator. Lignans help balance estrogen levels, support bone density, and protect the heart. On top of that, flax is packed with alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that helps reduce inflammation. The science is clear. In one 2018 study published in Hypertension Research, seniors with borderline blood pressure were split into two groups. One group ate a muffin containing 30 grams of flax every day. The other ate a placebo muffin. 6 months later, the flax group had blood pressure drop so significant, 15 points on the systolic reading and 7 on the diastolic, that researchers compared it to the effects of first-line blood pressure medications. Except this time, there were no side effects. And the digestive benefits are just as impressive. Take Youssef, a 68-year-old retired taxi driver. He had struggled for years with constipation and high cholesterol. His daughter convinced him to sprinkle a teaspoon of ground flaxseed into his yogurt each morning. After just a couple of weeks, his digestion transformed. Smooth, regular, and effortless for the first time in years. Over 3 months, his cholesterol dropped from 218 to 174, and his triglycerides fell by 33%. But what he noticed most wasn't the numbers. It was the relief of finally feeling light and energetic after meals, instead of heavy and bloated. There's a catch, though. You must grind flax seeds fresh. Whole flax seeds will pass through your digestive system untouched, like tiny pebbles, without releasing their nutrients. Grinding them unlocks the omega-3 oils and lignans inside. But those oils are delicate, they spoil quickly. So always store ground flax in the fridge. Flax is simple but powerful. Mix it into oatmeal, smoothies, or yogurt. Just don't cook it at high heat, or you'll destroy the fragile oils. For seniors battling stiff arteries, sluggish digestion, or creeping cholesterol, flax can be the daily habit that quietly repairs your body from the inside out. But what if your biggest struggle isn't cholesterol? It's aching muscles, restless legs at night, or poor sleep. That's where the next seed comes in, and trust me, it might surprise you how much of a difference it makes. 7. Pumpkin seeds, the muscle repairers. Pumpkin seeds, often called pepitas, are small, green, and usually treated as a seasonal snack around Halloween. But here's the truth. For seniors, these seeds aren't just a snack. They're one of the most underrated tools for healing muscles, improving sleep, and strengthening the immune system. The secret lies in two minerals most older adults are silently deficient in: zinc and magnesium. Zinc is vital for immune defense, wound healing, and muscle repair. Without enough of it, small cuts take longer to close, infections become harder to fight, and your muscles recover more slowly after even simple activities like walking or climbing stairs. Magnesium, on the other hand, is involved in over 300 processes in the body, from muscle contraction to calming the nervous system. Without it, sleep becomes restless, legs twitch or cramp at night, and energy never quite feels steady. Pumpkin seeds are rich in both. That combination makes them like a natural repair kit for the body. And science proves it. A 2019 study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed adults over 65 who struggled with leg cramps and poor sleep. After just 4 weeks of eating 30 grams of pumpkin seeds daily, 71% reported improved sleep and leg cramps dropped by almost half. We saw this firsthand in a deal. A 73-year-old retired construction worker. He came in complaining about restless legs that kept him and his wife awake at night, plus a strange tingling in his calves. He had been taking calcium supplements and drinking plenty of water, but nothing helped. Tests showed his magnesium was low and his zinc was barely above deficient. We told him to try a simple change. Eat a small handful of lightly roasted, unsalted pumpkin seeds every evening. Within 2 weeks, his cramps disappeared. A month later, he slept through the night for the first time in years. His wife laughed and told us, "Finally, I can sleep too. No more jumping legs shaking the bed." It's these little, overlooked changes that make the biggest difference. No pills, no complicated routines, just a handful of seeds each day that work with your body instead of against it. And here's the best part. Pumpkin seeds don't carry the risks of sunflower or sesame seeds. They don't overload you with omega-6, they don't block minerals, and they don't need complicated preparation. They're simple, safe, and effective. But as powerful as they are, they're not number one. Because the seed that tops our list doesn't just help with sleep or muscles. It can transform your entire body from the inside out. It lowers inflammation, balances hormones, sharpens the brain, and even reduces joint pain. It's the seed every senior should be eating daily, and it might surprise you. 8. Hemp seeds, the anti-inflammatory champion. If pumpkin seeds are the quiet repair kit for your body, hemp seeds are the full restoration team. They're soft, buttery, and tiny, but don't let their size fool you. For seniors, hemp seeds are one of the most complete foods nature ever made. Here's why. Hemp seeds have one of the most perfectly balanced ratios of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids found in any food. Remember how sunflower seeds tip the balance toward inflammation? Hemp flips the script. That balance is what your body craves to calm joint pain, sharpen memory, and reduce the brain fog that creeps up with age. On top of that, hemp is rich in a rare compound called gamma-linolenic acid, GLA. GLA is a powerful anti-inflammatory that helps regulate hormones, soothe aching joints, and support metabolism. For seniors struggling with arthritis, stiffness, or the kind of fatigue that lingers all day, hemp can be a game changer. The science is impressive. In a 2022 clinical trial, seniors who ate 30 grams of hemp seeds daily for 8 weeks saw inflammation markers drop by 36%. Good HDL cholesterol rise by nearly 20%, and grip strength improve in over 70% of participants. That's not a supplement, that's just food doing its job. And then there's the story of Sa, a 76-year-old woman who had been using a cane for years because of arthritis in both knees. She tried medications, creams, and endless supplements, but nothing gave her lasting relief. We introduced 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds into her daily routine, blended into her morning smoothie with almond milk and dates. Within 3 weeks, she noticed less stiffness in the mornings. By week 6, she was walking around the house without her cane. And after 2 months, she was back in her garden, kneeling in the soil with a smile she hadn't felt in years. Unlike chia or flax, hemp seeds don't need to be soaked or ground. They're naturally soft, easy to digest, and gentle on the gut, even for seniors with dental issues or sensitive stomachs. Sprinkle them on soup, stir them into yogurt, or just eat them straight from the spoon. For anyone over 60 dealing with fatigue, joint pain, or fading energy, hemp seeds are the single simplest habit that can restore vitality. Just 3 tablespoons a day can help you reclaim strength, mobility, and confidence in your own body. So here we are. We've uncovered the 4 seeds you must avoid, and the 4 you should embrace daily. And the truth is simple. What worked for your body at 40 may quietly sabotage you at 70. But by making smarter choices, cutting out the inflammatory seeds and embracing the healing ones, you can rewrite your health story at any age. Because after 60, health is no longer a luxury. It's the foundation for everything: your independence, your energy, and the joy of truly living. Know the truth. Not all seeds are created equal. 4 of them, sunflower, cottonseed, sesame, and even chia when used the wrong way, can quietly push your body toward inflammation, fatigue, and hidden health problems. And yet, 4 others, black sesame, flax, pumpkin, and hemp, can do the exact opposite, reversing damage, protecting your brain, repairing your muscles, and giving you back the energy you thought was gone for good. But here's the bigger lesson. Your body at 60 or 70 is not the same as it was at 30 or 40. What once helped you may now be silently working against you. That's not failure. That's simply biology. And the good news is, you have the power to choose differently starting today. Imagine waking up with less stiffness, walking farther without pain, or feeling your memory sharpen instead of fade. That doesn't come from magic pills or expensive supplements. It comes from small, daily habits. A handful of the right seeds, a shift away from the wrong ones. Real food, working with your body. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these seeds do you eat the most? Have you ever noticed bloating, joint pain, or fatigue after eating certain healthy foods? Share your story in the comments. I read every single one, and you never know. Your experience might help someone else. And if you found this eye-opening, do me a favor. Share it with a friend, a parent, or anyone over 60 who deserves to know the truth about what's really happening on their plate. Because after 60, health is not a luxury. It's the foundation of everything. Stay curious, stay strong, and remember, sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference.